Senate. You said it's a corrective Senate. We have been ambushed all the time that bills are very sensitive bills are brought and are expected to be passed with the speed of light, which is not good for this country. Every senator here is supposed to be adequately informed. He does his research, he comes to the floor and makes a positive contribution. But in a situation where even money bills are brought and we are expected to pass it within 2 hours, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't go well for this country.
Sir, I welcome you onto this platform, and this is Indigenous TV. You see, from 1960 that Nigeria got our independence, the country have been going through a lot of challenges, from the military and now to the democratic dispensation. For everyone who has been part of Nigeria, I understand that we have been dealt with by Nigeria, even though we are Nigerians. But not to worry, because Nigeria will come out stronger and better, and we will actually eat and enjoy the good of the land. I know somebody will be asking me, when are we going to start enjoying? All I have to say is to encourage you and to actually know for a fact that we're actually going to see better days. And you see, for Nigeria to begin to sojourn or walk into the better days, we need to start by correcting our decisions, the decisions we make in these countries. Our decisions should and must be very objective and not clouded with sentiment, not to favor any one man or any group of men. And if you're talking about objective decisions, we're also going to talk about the Senate and what is going on in the Senate as regards the speedy signing of bills into law. You see, these bills are the things that when signed into law, the country will use to run, meaning you must obey such bills if you really want to stay and not to be in trouble with the law. And you see, in simple terms, or in a layman's term, the Senate is an institution of government saddled with the very, very objective and strong responsibilities to protect the country and empower the citizens by making objective decisions for the country's growth, the country's development, the future, and citizens' protection, as well as the rights and privileges of the citizens. You see, for me, the Senate is actually a sensitive part of the government and part of the country that can be compared to the heart of a human being. So for me, I would say that the Senate must at all times be careful, to scrutinize any decision or laws objectively, and also looking at the pros and the cons of any issues, as well as the advantages and disadvantages of any matter. Putting the interest of the nation first before any bill is passed into law. You see, some senators have been bold enough to come out and to challenge and complain about the speed at which bills are being passed without due process. And these senators complain that these bills are not given the right amount of time. The number of senators that will be aware of the bills, are not being told. So the bill will just come, and before you know it, the bill has been passed, which is very bad. I'm going to show you a video for you to see when senators stood up and they were complaining. But really, how could a bill be passed in a matter of hours without the executive members having a copy or copies of the document to go home and study and understand each of the clauses for effective discussion and deliberation or debate before the bill is being passed? For me, this clearly reveals foul play. But before we move on, please watch the video where the senators are complaining. And I will see you after this video for the concluding part of this publication. Thank you.
I want to plead that since 7th of August, over 2 months now, when this bill was read for the first time, this Senate is just receiving a 19-page document which requires us to read, understand each of the clauses before we pass. Anytime we pass any bill in this Senate, it is my wish, and I believe the sincere wish of every senator seated here or in this chamber, that that bill stands the test of time. And so I would want to request that the Senate President stands this bill to be read clause by clause on the next legislative day to enable each member of this Senate to read properly and understand. Because if I just read this bill and pass it, my conscience will haunt me if anything goes wrong. Thank you very much.
The Civil Senator Naiwo, I can see that your conscience is really troubling you today.
That he's talking about is the two-thirds of senators sitting, present. There are few instances, like the amendment of the Constitution, and some parts requires two-thirds. That means the senators, before voting, will be informed that they will vote on a certain matter, and they need to be present so that the two-thirds will be achieved. But any decision that comes up like this during the sitting of the Senate, the two-thirds means those that are here. Thank you.
Mr. Senator,
yes, vote is required. It is two-thirds of the Senate of the senators seated. But have we taken consideration of how many senators are seated and how many people have agreed that we say we are two-thirds? And apart from that, sir, this point is very necessary because since we started this Senate, you said it's a corrective Senate. We have been ambushed all the time that bills are very sensitive bills are brought and are expected to be passed with the speed of light, which is not good for this country. Every senator here is supposed to be adequately informed. He does his research, he comes to the floor and makes a positive contribution. But in a situation where even money bills are brought and we are expected to pass it within 2 hours, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't go well for this country. Sir, you are on seat today. History is going to judge you that things like this are not good for this country. Thank you very much, sir.
I welcome you back. But before we move on, please kindly subscribe to this channel. Click on the notification bell, like this video, share this video, and drop your comment in the comment section. Having said that and moving forward, I need us to understand that anything that happens in this country is actually a product or a byproduct rather of what the Senate has signed into law. And for clarity purposes, I would like to state some functions of the Senate, which includes 1. Lawmaking, 2. Corrections of default in law, 3. Approval of judicial appointment, 4. Approval of federal appointment, 5. The control of public funds. You see, the issue of lawmaking is a primary function for the executive members. They need to make good laws for the smooth running of the country. And for the control of public funds, the Senate is actually very empowered to control the amount of public funds that will be spent and the manner in which they will be disbursed. You know, according to Section 80, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution, which provides that no monies should or be withdrawn from the public funds of the Federation other than the consolidated revenue funds of the Federation, unless the issue of those monies have been authorized by an act of the National Assembly. So you begin to see how important that their functions are. You see, every senator, in my own opinion, or commonsensically, every senator is supposed to be adequately informed about a bill, and the executive members must be given ample time, at least, to study and really understand the documents or a bill before they are able to add value. And when the bill is brought forward, it can be debated upon the floor of the Senate. Then this bill can be passed if it makes sense and favors the country. You see, the speed at which bills are being passed without the consciousness and the input of executive members is alarming. And like I said before, For me, it only shows that there's foul play. You see, the former governor of Akwa Ibom State and the current president of the Senate, Mr. Godswill Akpabio, from the ruling party, the All Progressive Congress, APC, should be called to order. You see, any bill that must be passed must be done in due or with due process. I know it is clear because people have said it already that Akpabio wants to put Nigeria into the pockets of Bola Ahmed Tinubu to please him and satisfy Tinubu, because Akpabio is Tinubu's puppet Senate president, just like the puppet judges of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. Yes, but Mr. Akpabio, please understand that Nigeria is bigger than any one man and greater than any group of men. I want to cancel these allegations that people will say you want to, do everything to please Tinubu. But please use your right office. I want to call on that good heart that you had in Akwa Ibom State to serve Nigeria well, and let history judge you well and well. I thank you for the good work you have been doing, but please, regardless, put Nigeria first. God bless you. And I want to thank you everyone for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.